Okay, we're here today to talk about the springs in Tampa Bay. A lot of people aren't aware there's a lot of natural springs in the Tampa Bay area. Although we are blessed with some of the world's best beaches in Tampa Bay, sometimes you don't want the hustle and bustle and the battle of the sand, the waves, and the people. Lucky for us, Tampa Bay area also is home to natural springs where you can tube, kayak, paddleboard, and explore, and take a canoe and enjoy yourself. Here are 7 natural springs within 3 hours of Tampa Bay. The first one, Lithia Springs, only about 20 miles east of Tampa in Lithia. Swimming, hiking, camping, Lithia Springs is the closest natural Florida spring to get to from Tampa, and the park is run by Hillsborough County. The natural spring is 72 degrees year-round, flows cool, clean water into the Alafaya River. We also have enjoyed the hiking trails with lots of birds, as well as fishing and the playground there. Next spring, Ichetucknee Springs, location 160 miles north of Tampa. It'll take a couple of hours to get there in Fort White. Offering tubing, kayaking, paddleboarding, spring-fed rivers, lush canopies, and cool swimming holes, this is one of the favorite places to go tubing in Florida. We love it because we can rent a tube from one of the tube renters, local companies, and then we can just get dropped off and go down the river. And there's also a rental facility inside the park. And when they get down the river, they pick you up and bring you back. The main draw of this park is 8 crystal clear springs that join to create the 6-mile Ichetucknee River. There is a general store inside the park, as well as a playground, picnic areas, and an education center there. Next spring is Crystal Rivers. It's about 80 miles north of Tampa. Offers swimming, kayaking, paddleboarding, known for its sparkling blue, natural spring-fed rivers and chains of lakes. It's also the manatee capital of the world. We're one of only a handful of places in Florida where you are allowed to swim with the gentle giants, which is a beautiful experience. I've done it myself several times. The crystal clear water, again, 72 degrees year-round, so it's a great spot to escape the Florida heat and escape the beach, which can be very hot, and the water very warm. Even at its deepest point, about 18 feet, you can see straight to the bottom of the spring, which is great for kayaking and swimming with the manatees. Next spring is Rainbow Springs. I've rented quite a few houses on Rainbow. I love this springs. It's 115 miles north of Tampa, a couple of hours. Tubing, swimming, snorkeling, kayaking, paddleboarding, all things you can do there. This is another one of our favorite places to go tubing along the Rainbow River. Tubing is available in the park. The water is refreshing, again, 72 degrees year-round, and when you rent a tube in the park, they will drop you off, you float down the river, and get out where you parked your car. A leisurely trip down the river takes about 2 hours. You can also swim, snorkel, kayak, paddleboard in different parts of the river all day long. Ginnie Springs, 149 miles north of Tampa. Again, a little bit of a ride. Tubing, swimming, snorkeling, kayaking, paddleboarding, scuba diving, camping. This is a privately owned nature area in northern Florida. It's very popular for swimmers, snorkelers, tubers, paddleboarders, and scuba divers. Flowing out of the Santa Fe River, the clear and inviting spring remains a constant 72 degrees, as they all do. And you can rent tubes, snorkel sets, canoes, kayaks, and paddleboards for a full day of fun on the Ginnie Springs. Wachee Springs, one of my favorite places to go, has a water park right at the head springs, 57 miles north of Tampa. Kayaking, paddleboarding, boat ride, and water park. Home of the world-famous mermaids, which is in the Wachee Water Park. It's a great day trip from Tampa. The Wachee Springs State Park is home to the Mermaid Show at Buccaneer Bay, and the Florida's only spring-fed water park. It's the only one. You can also rent kayaks and paddleboards inside the park, as well as take a riverboat cruise down the Weeki. Silver Springs State Park, 104 miles north of Tampa in Silver Springs. I've been there too. It's an amazing spring. Kayaking, paddleboarding, boat ride. So as far as we've discussed the options to swim, tube, kayak, and paddleboard in Florida's natural springs, here is a unique experience you won't find in other springs, a glass bottom boat ride. It's an amazing boat ride too. The boat ride gives you an opportunity to view the wildlife in the water without getting wet at all. Also at Silver Springs, they filmed Thunderball, James Bond movie. They filmed the underwater fight scenes there. They also filmed the Creature from the Black Lagoon back in the late 50s at that place. The Silver Springs flows 5 miles from the head spring to the Ocklawaha River with opportunities to see birds, turtles, alligators, and fish. The park has a cafe, which is very nice, also has a museum, and also rents kayaks, canoes, and paddleboards. So if you like the springs, you'd like to come down to Florida, you want to buy a house, give me a call. My name's Tim Carroll. My phone number is 813 541-5320. We would love to help you if you need help. Just give us a call. Thanks.